Hey YouTube, this is Lisa and you're watching The Backward Glance. Today is Monday, November 25th, 2019, just before Thanksgiving here, and I am going to have another What Sold Quickly on eBay video for you. So in these videos, I share 10 items that I flipped within the first 30 days of being listed in my eBay store. And again, I'm believing that in this video, they're all apparel related. So if that's your thing, go ahead and keep watching. I do have a bonus item at the end as well that we'll talk about when we get there. So item number one that flipped quick for me here is this Michael by Michael Kors bag. This was called the Bedford Pebbled Leather Pocket Tote, and it was a beautiful burgundy color. There's the Michael Kors logo from the front there, and the Michael Kors. So Michael by Michael Kors is a lower end line of Michael Kors, but I do okay with it. Not with the clothing, I never pick up the clothing, but I have done okay with the accessories from this brand when I find them. So I paid $6.33 for this and sold it to a buyer who messaged me asking for a better price for $55. I was totally fine with that, and it took 4 days to sell. Next is this pair of jeans by Judy Blue. I shared this brand in the last video as well. It's a juniors brand that I had never heard of, but I picked up 2 pairs and they both sold pretty quick. This pair was a boot cut. I kind of expected it to sit a little longer for that reason, but it didn't. So I paid $4.25 for this pair and sold it through offers to watchers for $26, and that took 24 days to sell. Here is the brand, Judy Blue, Los Angeles. So I don't know if it was a fluke that I came across this brand twice or if I'm going to start seeing it when I'm out and about. Definitely not a brand to pay up for, not a high profit brand, but maybe a good staple brand. We'll see. Alright, I shared this jacket in a thrift haul from the consignment store that I went to, where I hit a big like 90% off sale, and this was an item that I just couldn't leave behind. Not the kind of item I normally like to stock because it's bulky, so when I get these big leather jackets, I try and sell them quick. Like, I make really attractive offers, and I was mainly interested in somebody really just loving this and finding a home for it. Obviously, the consignment store, the right person wasn't connected with this jacket because I picked it up for $4.22. That was at 90% off. Um, I ended up selling this through offers to watchers for $34, and that took 3 days, and that's plus shipping. My buyers always pay shipping, so shipping was a little expensive for this. Actually, it did cost me a couple more bucks. I think it was $18 to ship this. So I paid a little shipping out of my own pocket, but the profit margin was still great since I paid so little for this jacket. And this brand is, I've seen it before. I mean, I don't think it's anything. This was an item that I picked up purely on the style and the condition and just knowing that somebody would love it and appreciate it. Okay, this vintage Burberry scarf, in case you don't know, Burberry originally was Burberry's, so I think when people see the S on the end of the logo, they sometimes think that it is fake, but that's just the old style. So this was just like a thin knit scarf. This scarf showed a lot of wear. I did my best to kind of shave it and clean it up a little. It had like a little knot in the corner there where threads were coming loose. And just in general, like you can kind of see from the picture, it was just like fuzzy from wear. It had some loose threads sticking out. So I kind of didn't expect this to sell so fast because it wasn't the only one on eBay. There were actually quite a few of them. It's not apparently a rare item. I paid $2.56 for this, and I ended up getting my full asking price of $26, and it took just 1 day. So hopefully the buyer paid attention to the photos and my description and will be happy with this. But yeah, just an item I kind of couldn't leave behind when I found it at the thrift store. This is the same kind of thing. Normally I don't buy Johnston & Murphy I really think that they make a product that at least looks high quality. Whenever I see their shoes, I'm attracted to them and I go and check and see what they are. And they just don't have a good sell through rate. And they just don't sell for high prices on eBay, and it always surprises me. But I found this belt in immaculate condition. It was a gorgeous burgundy color, had clearly never been worn, and I just couldn't leave it behind. I'm a little surprised that it did sell quickly just because of my history with this brand, but I only paid $2 for this. I sold it for a best offer of 28, and it took 26 days, so just under a month there. Not bad. Really happy that this gorgeous belt is going to someone who can use it. All right, here we are on item 6. This is a brand called Flint and Tinder, and this is one that I had never heard of. And I'm going to go ahead and call this a Bolo brand. Uh, I didn't make a huge profit on this by any means. I paid $4.25 for it and sold it through offers to watchers for 28. That took 19 days. It did get a lot of watchers on it. And this was just a basic Henley. It had kind of a distressed feel to it, like around the seams. I think that was intentional and not from where. There's the brand on it. So if you go ahead and run comps on this brand, they sell like flannels, and their non-basic items can go for a lot of money. There are items from this brand that are going for over 100. So I'm definitely going to say this is like a men's Bolo brand to look out for right now, and hopefully I come across it again. This was my first time, and I will keep my eyes open. Levi's 501. These were not vintage Levi's 501, but they were like the classic mom jeans style. They had an 11-inch rise on them. They had the button fly under there. I always show, by the way, the button fly in a picture. So let's see, I paid $5.28 for this pair. It was a women's size. It's kind of hard to tell with these, but from my understanding, the men's sizes start at 28, and this was a 27 by 30, so definitely more of a women's size, but these jeans are pretty much unisex. So I paid $5.28. I got my full asking price of $38, and that took 2 days. And the way I can tell that it wasn't vintage was from the tagging inside. So when you see these like satin printed tags, I mean, this one was made in Cambodia, I think, or something like that. So, yeah, made in Cambodia. Levi's has factories everywhere, except the US, I think. So, all right, this is a ring by the designer Michael Dawkins, and I was originally trying to separate jewelry sales and not really include jewelry in these videos. However, I'm just not selling as much jewelry. I'm not listing jewelry. It's hard for me to find jewelry, and despite all my best efforts, I haven't been able to list very many pieces. I digress. Okay, this ring is by a designer called Michael Dawkins. You can actually see his name. I was pretty happy to be able to capture it so clearly in the picture there. This was a sterling silver ring, a common ring by him. I was able to look up comps for this exact one. I paid $7.07 for this, and I sold it for my full asking price of $24, and it sold in just a day, so I was a little worried that I was paying up for an item that's not super high profit, but I'm so glad it sold in one day, so I'm considering that a good sale. I did put it on a scale there so the buyer could see the weight of the silver, but I'm sure that this is not like a scrap item. They're looking for this designer, so that's great. All right, item number 9 is this Charter Club 2-ply cashmere sweater. This was another item that I got at the consignment store. I don't think I showed it in the haul, but I just kind of limited that haul to things that I was more excited about. So, pretty color. I love picking up cashmere. I've never picked up Charter Club. I looked it up and it sold at Macy's, so not super high end, but not super low end. Probably wouldn't pick it up unless it was cashmere like this, so just something to bear in mind. But here is the tag. I'm sure that you've seen this brand. It's one that I pass by all the time. So I paid just $1 for this sweater, and I sold it through offers to watchers for $20, and that took 24 days to sell. And item number 10 is a good old pair of Danskos. These ones probably aren't the best style to be picking up. They just didn't get a lot of watchers or anything, but they did sell within the month, which I'm happy about. So they were called the Carry Pull-Up Clog, and they were a size 37. Yeah, not a whole lot to say about these. We're all familiar with Dansko, I think. And yeah, yes, that's about the best picture I can give you of the logo, even though it's upside down. And my camera's not going to. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. All right. Got myself derailed for a minute. $3.50 is what I paid for these, and I sold them for my full price of $26. That took 24 days, and I did send out a few offers on these. I expected to sell them for more like 20 bucks, but I'm always glad when someone swoops in and pays the full price. So that being said, those were my 10 items that flipped quickly, and our bonus item, as I sometimes do, is share an item that did not flip quickly, just to balance everything out. And today that item is this pair of shoes. KMB, so I picked these up a long time ago. And I thought that they were just really cool, and I didn't know anything about the brand, and I just thought that they had to be something. They are espadrilles, they're like calf hair, calf or pony hair on the side, I'm never quite sure like how to tell, and then leather on the top, this beautiful red color. See the logo for you there. So this brand is not crazy expensive. I looked it up, but the shoes retail for over $100. So not super cheap either. And it is sometimes sold at Anthropologie. I have no idea if this pair was ever sold at Anthropologie. So I'm just gonna guess that this is a brand that might do better on Poshmark. I paid $4.30 for these way back when. I ended up selling them for a best offer of $18, and that took 16 months to sell. They got very, very, very little interest. I mean, I was not like sending out offers on these. I think I originally listed them for something like $38, and I did get an offer almost right away for 20 bucks. And at the time I was like, I just listed these. I'm not going from 38 to 20. That's like almost an insult of an offer. So I declined it. I probably countered. I'm sure I countered, but the buyer didn't accept my counter. So in the end, I ended up selling them for $2 less than that original offer, but that was literally the only interest that I ever got in these the whole time I had them for 16 months. So there you go. Sometimes you see an item and you're just sure that it's something and it just doesn't perform for you, but that's all part of it. So thanks a lot for watching. As always, feel free to like, dislike, leave me a comment, or subscribe to my videos if this is the kind of video that you enjoy watching to help you as you go about your reselling business. Have a great day.